Yes, people. Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing very well on this fine Thursday evening. Welcome. A few things to talk about, of course, in the Manchester City world. Welcome back to the late night chat. Your favorite, my favorite, our favorite live Manchester City late night show, as it should be. And if it is your favorite, make sure you've hit that like button, man. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. We've gone up like 300 subscribers in the last 24 hours, which is crazy. So shout out to all of our new subscribers. Big up to all of you for showing love, showing support, and of course big up to the Big Six for showing love and encouraging people to continue showing love over here. So big up to each and every single one of you. Who we got in the building, man? We got Jack, Stephen, Lewis, Brax, Briggsy, Noah, AA, Witherspoon, the one mustache viewing, and listen, welcome everybody. Hit the like button, man. Let's run it up. Get your thoughts in the chat. As always, these late night chats are very much for you guys to get your thoughts in. And I'm excited for 10K too, Briggsy. We're under 400 away from 10K. We're going to have a big fuck off party when we hit 10K. I promise you that, people. But it is not time for party, people. It is not time for party in the Manchester City world. We have an injury. We have a very significant injury. It's sad. It is really sad. Oscar Bobb, of course. The word came out last night that he had suffered a bad injury, believed to be either some sort of a leg break or ankle I think it's leg fracture or fracture of the leg. I ain't no scientist or doctor, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a dickhead with a camera. But yeah, he's going to be out for quite a long period of time. And I'm just gutted for the kid. I really am gutted for the kid because, look, he absolutely slammed it in preseason. He really did. He showed he's on a new level from what we've seen before in preseason, and I felt like this season was going to be a new level for him in terms of minutes and importance to the team, and then to suffer an injury like that at this point, at this this period of the season, the start, when it would have been a great opportunity for him to lay his glove and put up his hand to Pep and say, I want to be involved in the big games throughout the whole season. And now his season's really, really in trouble. His season is really, really in trouble because, even when he does get back, which is more than likely, in my opinion, February, March, before you see him properly, he's not going to work his way into the team properly, is he? You know what I'm saying? He's by that point of the season, Pep usually kind of knows what he's working with. You could see him make cup appearances if we're still in it. You could see him make a couple of minutes here and there if we're winning a game comfortably. But it's tough to see Bobb working his way back into a starting 11 just through the nature of the injury and the time frame he's going to be out and when he's expected to be back. But there was a lot on Oscar Bobb's shoulders. Do you know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of pressure on Oscar Bobb's shoulders. I myself, I feel like I've been one of the few people saying it, but while he has been slamming it in preseason, Joe, everyone's been like, oh, he has to play. He's one of the main men this season. And I get that. But think about what you're doing. You're putting a lot of pressure on a kid who's still cutting his teeth in the game. And I was ready to see how he handled that. I was very ready to see mentally how he handled that. And now it's just like, fuck, man. We will talk about business and the transfer stuff in a couple of minutes, but for Oscar Bobb, for City fans, for yourself, for myself, it's gut-wrenching. You don't wish that nature of an injury on it. You don't wish any injury on any player. You know what I mean? But that type of injury is nasty. And the final point on those injuries, they can be long-term mental setbacks. He may physically recover in a few months' time, but mentally, these leg breaks stay with you for a long time because you're nervous about twisting on it. You're afraid of the impact. It's just an awful situation all around, really, for Oscar Bobb, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm pretty confident in saying that he probably would have started against Chelsea. Like, I'm fairly confident I think he would have started against Chelsea, and he was the best player on the pitch, got man of the match against United, was the best player in pre-season. Like, it's annoying. It really is annoying because, I mean, for as long as he kept up those type of performances, the spot was his. Like, even if he didn't retain it long term, that was his spot to lose. And he's lost it through no fault of his own with an injury. That's just the way the cards are falling, really. So it's annoying. It's upsetting. I mean, if you're being hopeful, He might be back at the turn of the year, maybe January if you're hopeful, but realistically, it's not just about the injury healing. It's also about, him being able to be confident that it is fully healed, for him to then get minutes, have the opportunity to get minutes, which, FA Cup normally starts around the end of January, start of February. So realistically, by that point in the season, like you said, Pep knows what he's working with. Pep normally tinkers at the start. In the first 4 months, sort of between August and November, maybe a little bit into December, he's tinkering. He's finding out what works. He's trying players in different positions. He's trying different formations, different roles. From January onwards, you normally know what way we're going to play and who's going to play. That's normally the system. That's normally the theme with the Pep team. So the fact that he's going to be out up until around that period where Pep kind of knows what he's working with means that his season was pretty much over before it's even started. Like, let's be real. To be honest, unless he smashes it in the cup, in the FA Cup and, Carabao Cup if we're still in it, I struggle to see where he gets the opportunity to gain minutes, to gain sharpness, and then also play well enough to take that spot over someone else. Because, again, by that point in the season, you're halfway through. Savio, Doku, Bernardo, Foden. These are the players that he's going to have to outperform to get the position back. So it's just, you just don't really see a way back. I mean, you wouldn't rule it out, but I find it very difficult to see how he plays a big part in the season, which he might have done if he was fit, because he would have started against Chelsea. And you never know what happens from there. And then we've got Ipswich next. You'd imagine that plays well against Chelsea, he plays there. But, his season, while it's not totally over, having a big involvement, it's pretty much done. He's going to be not very heavily involved.
It's massively hindered. Look, people, we're 7 likes off 50, man, and 75 in the building. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure to hit the like button, get it up to 50, man. Be sick on the road to 10k. Turkish put a lot of respect in your name last night. Hugh, was good to hear. Yeah, of course, man. I massively appreciated the words from Turkish and all the kind messages and DMs and all I got from Big Six viewers. It's like I said, I have absolutely nothing but love for that show. So yeah, it was really nice. Turkish knows how much I appreciate him and everything he's done for me. So yeah, big up to the Big Six and big up to him. But yeah, look, it's tough, man. It's tough. And I suppose with Oscar Bobb, you're right. Look, he people are optimistic that they're going to see him again, at the second half of the season, and by that as if he's going to come back and all of a sudden be one of the first names of the team sheet. Like I've already said to people, I thought we were putting too much pressure on him as a fan base as it was before the injury, and I also didn't think I never felt he was going to play the level of minutes that a lot of people thought he would. I think a lot of people were expecting Oscar Bobb to be, Riyad Mahrez, he's one of the first names in the team sheet when he's playing at his best. He's a mainstay. I didn't think so. I couldn't see Pep doing that. I felt Pep was going to go yet again with giving him more minutes, but taking him out of the limelight at the correct times, because he's still very much in development. And this injury is going to hinder his development. Of course it is. It's going to slow it down and potentially damage it and lower the ceiling he can get to, because as we know, people, the nature of these injuries can have real long-term mental effects on the players and physical effects. It can, the bone can be weakened. I don't know. I'm not the genius on anatomy, but I do know that mentally, I've suffered bad injuries myself when I was younger, and you don't fully feel like yourself for a long time after you're back. Trust me. Seamus Coleman, Everton right back, did his knee in a couple of years ago, and he said, when I got back, it was a good few months. A lot of months before I really, really felt like I was at my physical peak again, and I trusted my leg, I trusted my knee to twist and turn on, to go in full throttle for a challenge. If a player hadn't had that injury, they might go into a challenge 100%. Whereas if you're coming back from that kind of leg break or an ACL or something along those lines, you start going into it at kind of 70%, because there's always that party. It's not that you're not trying, not for want of trying. Your brain's like, whoa, I don't want to hurt this again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do any further damage. So I massively feel for the kid. I massively, on a human level, on a personal level, I really feel for him. And look, fingers crossed and prayers are with him that when he does come back and he makes a full recovery, he's given the time and the patience, and he's able to get to the level that we all know he can. So look, I'm really sorry for him. I'm really sorry for him, and I'm sorry for Manchester City because we're now down another very solid player that we were going to look at this season and potentially use more than we had done before. So now we're left in a situation, Joe, where I put up a tweet about what I'm about to say, and I really think it's relevant. People were calling me negative beforehand for this kind of thing, but now I think it's more relevant than ever. I said, where's it gone? Yeah, a thin Manchester City squad has just got even thinner. If you believe business wasn't required before, you should now. Bare minimum, a Rodri backup, now one, if not two, attacking players also. People, business has to happen. Business has to happen. City must go into the market and sign multiple players. Multiple players. And by that, I'm not saying, go and sign 5, 6, and 7 players. I'm saying we need at least 2, and I would like 3. And by that, I mean I'd like 1 Rodri backup, a player who can play the holding midfield position. And I think we need 2 attackers. Before Oscar Bobb got injured, I felt we needed another attacking option. Spoke on it on multiple shows. I said it here. I said it on LB's channel. I felt before we got injured, I would have liked 1 more attacking option. But if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have thrown my toys out of the pram. Trust me, I wouldn't have done anything like that. I would have been, look, it is what it is. Trust the squad, trust Pep, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now we absolutely need it. This isn't anymore about trusting Pep or trusting the squad. This is simply saying that we don't have enough. It's plain to see we do not have enough to challenge on all the fronts we want to challenge on. We do not have enough players, in my opinion, to sustain a proper league challenge. I think our starting 11, yeah, it can, but 38-game campaign, more injuries, which will come down the line. I can, as true as night follows day, people, I can promise you, more injuries are coming. I would put my house on it. Kevin De Bruyne will miss at least 1 month this season. At least 1 month. I promise you that. That's the pattern we're working with. He's missed large periods of the seasons for the last 4 seasons in a row. Yeah, so it's going to happen. I'd be pretty confident Haaland will miss some part of the season. He usually picks up 1, if not 2, kind of short to medium term injuries, and then after that, anything could happen. John Stones, fuck me, we all know about John Stones. So you're going to say you take out 2 or 3 of those players at once. What are we left with? I'm sorry, it's not a strong enough team at that point to really say, yeah, we can fight for Premier League, and yeah, we can fight for Champions League. Because they're the 2 main objectives. Of course they are. Every single season, the 2 main objectives. Have a good crack at Champions League and prioritise the Premier League. They're the 2 main objectives. Pep will have a go at the FA Cup, as he always does, and he will have a go at the Carabao Cup, as he always does. But I'm sorry, I hate to be that guy that's calling out the board, which I'm not, but I'm saying what I think. We need business. It's paramount. Absolutely paramount. Yeah? We've worked with thin squads before, and we now have an even more congested fixture schedule. Throw in more Champions League games. It's now a longer Champions League competition. There's a Club World Cup at the end of the season, which will be taken seriously. 100% it will. Boy, man. Get the fucking checkbook out. Do you know what I'm saying, Joe?
I don't hate to be that type of guy to call out the player. We're done with this shit. Like, come on, seriously. I kept calm. I was like, there's still a few weeks left in the window. I'm done with that shit. Tiki, get off your hands. Put your finger out. Get the checkbook out. The war chest that you've been telling us for the last, I don't even know how long. How many years have we had war chest? Seriously, how many years have we had war chest?
3, maybe 3 or 4.
3, 4 years. War chest. Seriously, Tiki, I will Royal Mail first class a big fuck off jar of Nescafe for you to wake up and get the checkbook out and sign a player. Like, I'm not being funny, but we are days away from the start of the season. We still don't have a Rodri backup. One of our wingers is now out for the first half of the season, and people were saying we needed an attacking option already, so now we definitely need one. So that's 2 signings, and we are, our season starts in 3 days. 3 days our season starts, and we are still light on players, and have just had a major injury. Like, no, we're done with being like, we'll be patient, give them time, they always make the right signing. They might not get their first target, but, they get their second choice. We've seen it with Ruben Diaz, and all of these other players. No, we need action now. We're not going to be able to go in the market and penny pinch. Clubs now know that we have a player that's out for 4 months, and we could probably do with an attacker. And their season, if it hasn't started already, is about to start. So we're going to have to pay over the odds to sign whoever, unless they have a release clause, because we've waited too long. The option was there to sign certain players beforehand. We've had weeks, we've had months to sign certain players. I keep on hearing Bruno. I think if I hear Bruno G one more time, I'm about to combust. Because he had a release clause. Bro, my head is about to explode if I hear Bruno G once more. Shush. Shush. I'm about to spontaneously combust. I'm about to burst into flames. I swear to God, my head is hot. Bro,
you better bust.
Yeah, okay. You say how you want it, all right? Fuck off. no, but I have heard this guy's name so many times. Bro had a 100 million release clause right there. 1 fee. Take him. He wants it. We want it. The nailed on thing was there. Release clause. We love a release clause. No negotiations. Bosh, get it done. We're like, you know what? Don't want to pay 100 million. Now we're sat here 3 days from the end of the season going, you know what, that Bruno fella looks quite good. I'm sorry to break it to you, Tiki, mate, but he's going to cost you the same, if not more, because you've waited. Yeah. So that option's off the table. What, do you go in for Zubimendi, who Liverpool, tried to go and get, but they couldn't? Is he going to want to leave now? Like, I don't know what the situation is there. Is that an option? Like, we're into the point of the season where you can't penny pinch. Vardio, great deal, yes, granted, but we got that shit done. We moved on that deal. You can't penny pinch anymore. You can't go to a club and go, we want this player, and when they quote you a higher price than maybe you would have thought, go, oh, well, we're not doing that. Because every club's going to quote over the odds. We are days away from the start of the season. That's a fact. Like, you're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to firm it and maybe pay slightly over the odds. We have the money. Don't tell me we don't have the funds able to go and do that, because we do.
Mm-hmm. Nishay, we're not being negative, man. We're literally just having a conversation about it, just sharing opinions. It's not negativity. It's literally just sharing opinions. No one's being called out. No one's being aggressive. It's literally just us having a chat, and you guys can have a chat with us as well. So don't worry. No one's. Apart from Joe busting, there's nothing crazy happening.
Hey, listen, my head is fucking frazzled because my head's on Mars because I've waited. I've actually told people to calm down when they've been like, oh, we need this signing, and we've gone, there's still a few weeks left. We are 1, maybe 2, but 1 addition away from being a complete squad. Now with Oscar Bobb getting injured, it's like, right, we need like a couple here. Like, no messing about, we need 2.
My guess is my guess is in terms of I think we'll sign at least 1 player that we kind of expected, and that being Eze, and we'll talk about Eze in a second. But I also think we'll go for some player that is really highly regarded. We'll put in a bid that isn't enough. Then we'll go and get our second option, and that second option will turn out to be someone we don't really know, but he's absolutely class. That seems to be the track record, Remember what was it, the summer that Koulibaly was on a private jet at one point? What's his face? The guy who plays for Barca now. Koundé was coming at one point as well. And who did we end up with, people? We ended up with Ruben Diaz, and apparently City are trying to give him a new contract right now too, and that worked out all right. So I don't think City will go and pull out the cash and the big guns for multiple big names. I think we might get 1 name that, when I say big name, I mean name that we're very familiar with. We're very familiar with Eze, and then I think we'll go and get 1, maybe 2 players that we're not too familiar with, or at least we're probably not familiar with at all. It's more a player that they've done their homework on. Because while we're all sitting here saying sign this player, sign that player, sign this player, sign that player, they will have a list the length of my forearm of players that they have done full reports on, full due diligence on, and they'll analyze and assess which one is the best one to pull the trigger on. So that's kind of why the way it is. I mean, big up AK man like AK 850 with the 199. He says Newcastle will want at least 150 million for Bruno now. What like, he had that 100 million release clause, didn't he, AK? Whatever they would have accepted for him after the release clause, like the day after the release clause ended, I'd put there'd be another little premium on that now. There'll be another little premium on that now. Because think about it from their point of view. It's not us. It's not just as simple as we go and give them 105, 110 million and they go, oh, great, boom, deal's done, and we all forget about it. No one's bothered. No. They'll go, oh, we're now being left without our captain currently, and probably best player in the squad, or his biggest profile in the squad, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to go out and replace him. If Newcastle sell Bruno, they'll have to replace Bruno, you know, with one, maybe two players. So yeah, of course, they'll put an even higher premium on his head if we go in and look for him now, which is why I'm kind of like, I don't know, you know? If City were to go and get a player right now, or if City were to go and get a player that required bidding, yeah, it's no release clause. It's just an outright, you bid, accept, reject, you bid, accept, reject, whatever. I think that kind of business would have been done a couple of weeks ago. I think we're now at the point where City are looking at players where they know the fee that will be required to get the player, i.e. a release clause, or they've kind of inquired to the club, like, what would it take to get this guy out of your club? And that's the kind of business we'll do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think Eze, for me, AK, is a shoe-in. I think Eze is an absolute shoe-in right now. And I know a lot of people aren't really for Eze, and there's some people who are really for Eze. I'm not saying I'm Eze's biggest fan. I'm not saying I think Eze is a world-class player by any means. I think he can grow into a great player at City, you know, with better players around him, etc., etc. But everything that he has going for him right now is kind of what we need, and it's kind of what we like, you know? First of all, the release clause. Tiki release clause, Burgestan, whatever his second name is. That's how he likes it. 60 million, boom, slap down on your table, Mr. Crystal Palace. Let me chat to Eze. We want to get him up to Manchester. Easy business. Second of all, Premier League experience. Third of all, he's a creator. He'll get you G&A. Fourth of all, or whatever, third or fourth, forgot my numbers now. The next one, he's versatile. He's extremely, extremely versatile. And we are now down Julian Alvarez and Oscar Bobb. So we need, ideally, if you could kill multiple birds with one stone, they will do so. And Eze will. You could play Eze on the right. You could play Eze in the left. You could play Eze through the middle. You could play Eze as a false nine. Absolutely, you could. So just those three things in mind. The release clause, the versatility, and the Premier League experience, just those three things alone will get Manchester City excited. We'll get Pep excited. We'll get Tiki excited. And I get it. I understand it, you know? We're not, all of our signings aren't going to be Nico Williams, Danny Olmo, Rodrigo, and all these glamorous signings where you pull a player from a big dog in another league and go, whoa, a big statement from City. It's now, right, who's going to help us sustain the level we're at? Who's going to fill a hole where we need it? So, I mean, for me, like, look, I'm not going to be bouncing off the ceiling if we sign Eze, but I'll go, it makes sense. It just makes sense to me, Joe.
I mean, it'd be a good signing. 60 million for a guy who can play across the front line. In the 10, maybe as an 8, if you give him a bit of coaching. You never know, but not particularly that's his skill set at the moment. And that covers the attacking areas. That covers Alvarez's minutes in the 10, gives you more cover there. Oscar Bobb's minutes on the right, gives you a bit more cover there. Obviously can give you cover on the left as well if you need it, if someone else goes on to the right, or, you know, whatever, a few injuries. Haaland goes down, someone else plays a false 9, can give you some cover there. Like, if we were to make 2 signings, Eze would be one of them, just for the sheer versatility. Like, and he's a good player. I see multiple people losing their minds going, he's not good enough, he's not good enough. Well, what's he not good enough for?
Well, who is? Yeah, tell me who is.
What's he not good enough for? If Eze's not good enough, who is? And if your name Wirtz or Musiala, I'm not listening, right? Because you're chatting shit. Let's be real. We are days away from the start of the season. You are not getting a big boy. You're not. It's not happening. Case closed. Close that door. Wait till next summer, then come back. Yeah? Now, we're dealing with kind of the scraps, kind of the who's left, who's got a release clause, who's got, you know, a rough estimate of how much they would cost. Eze, release clause. Bruno, you kind of know in and around the ballpark of what he would cost. Like, these are players that keep coming back. You look at Zubimendi. Zubimendi's got a release clause. I'm pretty sure that's what Liverpool were going for. Like, these are players where you can look at and go, you know, you can get this done in like a week, 2 weeks, which is all we've got left in this window. You know, you can go and get that done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Eze thing again. Tommy says in the last 48 hours, City have discussed triggering the 60 million release clause for Eze. Crystal Palace's agents are not ruling it out. Look, they won't just be looking at Eze. He's just kind of the name that everyone's aware of right now. You know, there will be a lot of other players that City are speaking about right now. You know, these days. So, Eze makes the most sense for me of the ones that we know about in the attacking area of the pitch. In the defensive area of the pitch, I listen, chat. I did say it. Zooby dooby doo. I said a couple of weeks ago, when Liverpool, or a couple of days ago, probably now it is, when Liverpool were, it looked like Liverpool were on the brink of signing Zubimendi. I said, go and fucking hijack it. Go and hijack it. Yeah? Guarantee you, Zubimendi would rather come to Manchester City than he would Liverpool. Yeah? I'm sorry, Liverpool. Your pulling power right now isn't exactly what you would like it to be. Our pulling power right now is what you would like it to be. He's versatile. He knows his stuff. He's Spanish. He plays with Rodri for the national team. Boy, I think Zooby Dooby Doo. That's why I said go and hijack it, man. Go and hijack that, yeah? Whatever cash Liverpool have offered, offer more. Whatever wages Liverpool have offered, and Sociedad have now offered, offer more. Bit of a piece on him here. Martin Zubimendi, his name is Martin, has also been discussed as a potential target following the recent collapse of his proposed move to Liverpool. Pep would still prefer Guimaraes over others, just wants City business done. So based off that, it sounds like Pep, it's just like, get me fucking someone I can rely on. Do you know what I'm saying? Get me someone I can look at and rely on. Don't just pull some randomer out of nowhere and say, right, work with him. Don't get me another Calvin Phillips. Get me someone who has a bit of fucking experience at high level. You know, Zubimendi just won the fucking Euros. Played the second half because Rodri went off injured, didn't he? Bruno G, plenty of experience. So someone of that ilk, someone of that, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Has Zubimendi ever played outside of the six? I'm almost certain he has, Rodri _16. Almost certain. But while I'm checking that, Joe, Zubimendi for me, like, even if City went and did that, I'd be like, hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
Well, even if he hasn't played as an 8, we've seen Rodri play as an 8. He's played next to Fernandinho before. Like, he's done that job.
Seen Rodri plays at 10 before, man.
We've seen Rodri play fucking everywhere at this point. Like, it doesn't matter where, he just plays. He plays too much, man. But, like, if that was to be the case, because I think I can't remember, I don't think Tolmy said it. I think someone else said it. There was another source, I think I saw it on C Extra, saying that, you know, Pep's first choice is still Bruno. But, you know, he still kind of wants another midfielder that can play in that holding midfield role. And again, it's kind of two birds with one stone, because you get someone who can play there, and that then frees up Kovacic to go and play as an 8, which is what he's better at as well. It means Kovacic isn't stuck being this, well, you know, we got to keep him so we have a backup for Rodri. Because that's what it is. Right now, Kovacic is the Rodri backup. That's the state of the squad. Whereas if you go and get another midfield player like a Bruno, like a Zubimendi, they can then basically go, right, Kovacic, you can play box to box, which he did in pre-season, and he looked good. I mean, he looked good at holding midfield against Man United, but that's, you know, not his position. Over the course of a season, you'd still rather have someone who's a bit more specialised in that area. And, I mean, with the way that I look at the squad, with Oscar Bobb being injured, you've got Savio on the right, Doku can play on the right, and then you've got Bernardo. Bernardo is probably the most go-to option to play off the right now. Unless Savio absolutely tears it up and starts the season really well and gets the opportunity to start the season, Bernardo will probably be the right winger. So you're taking him out the midfield. The plan at the start of the season was probably to have Bernardo in midfield again, because, you know, you got Oscar Bobb and all these other wingers. You signed Savio. But with Oscar Bobb going down, I'm thinking Bernardo will probably be pushed out on the wing. You've got, De Bruyne in the 10, and then who have you got box to box? Who have you got between, you know, your Kovacic, who's going to start the season? Who's next to Kovacic? Can't rely on Nico O'Reilly, that's unfair. Can't really rely on Nunes because you don't know what you've got. Nobody knows what we've got with Nunes yet.
Out of all the options remaining for who you put beside Kovacic, with the exception of James McAtee, none of them are like real attackers, you know? None of them are like creators or like goal scorers, goal threats, you know what I'm saying? Has McAtee even proven yet for that? You know, McAtee's still got to cut his teeth a bit more.
Yeah. And then, like, Because it's whoever plays next to. If we're going straight to Chelsea, which we won't get a signing in before then, but the situation we've got going into Chelsea is, unless you have Savio on the right or Doku on the right, Bernardo's going to be on the right, and then you've got like Nico O'Reilly or Mateus Nunes playing next to Kovacic. Because I doubt Rodri will get thrown in. I doubt Foden will get thrown in. I just very much doubt these things. And I don't think De Bruyne's going to drop back into an 8. I think he'll be the higher up in the midfield. Because, I mean, he's old now. He can't really run about as much. So you'd imagine he'll be pushed a bit further forward. So if you were to sign a Zubimendi or a Bruno, again, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone because you free up Kovacic to be able to play as a box-to-box, knowing that you've got another holding midfield player, and that kind of solves another problem. And then when everybody's fit and Rodri comes back in, Kovacic can maybe drop down to the bench, and then this player that you've signed, whether it, whoever it may be, can, retain his place. And then you got Kovacic off the bench, when everybody's fit. And then it works like that. That's 2 birds with 1 stone, because you get your Rodri cover, and you free up Kovacic to be able to play in a role that suits him a bit more, where he's able to dribble and move forward and, move into the final third, which he did in pre-season. That's what he did in pre-season. And again, it means you also ease the pressure on someone like Nico O'Reilly. If you're telling me that you are hanging your hat on Nico O'Reilly at the start of the season, boy, it's just totally unfair. It's just so unfair to say, we're down a man, you start. You are in the pivot, you play.
Well, let me tell you about Zubimendi. I have the Zubimendi initiated. Zubi is proper 6'2", that he plays as an 8'2". Here's some interesting facts for you. In his entire career at senior level for Real Sociedad, Zubimendi has played 143 times as a DM and 54 times as an 8. So, he's played as an 8. He has a decent amount of experience as an 8 too. And of course, under Pep Guardiola, he would be expected to play an array of positions, because you know what I'm saying, like when Rodri's fit, you're not playing ahead of Rodri. If we got Zubimendi in, I would imagine Zubimendi would be the Rodri backup, and he would also be a midfield option for us. He would be a midfield option for us in the 8s. So fucking go and hijack it. I mean, like, what are we gonna do with Nunes? I know that's the question, Nishay. That's the question. Like with Nunes, what are we gonna do with Nunes? Is Nunes, could we end up in a situation whereby maybe City go and get Eze, or City do get an attacking player too, and they just say, let Nunes be the DM, the backup DM? Because he does have experience playing as a defensive midfielder, and he's in the squad, and he's not been sold. So what? So what are we going to do?
Well, he's in a similar bracket as Kovacic, where DM don't suit him because he likes to dribble and he likes to move forward with the ball. So it's not like DM doesn't suit him, but needs must. If you want to play, you play where you're given, mate. Because the moment you're not getting any game time. He's still coming off the bench in the Community Shield, banging penalty, but who cares about that? He gave away the ball that led to us conceding. Like, he's done that a couple times, and he doesn't really get much opportunity, but. That's the nature of the game, isn't it? Under Pep, you don't get any opportunities, but when you do, you gotta take them. You don't take them, you ain't gonna last.
Exactly. And of course, we've just loaned out Calvin. Calvin was another. Should we have a minute of silence for him now that he's gone?
We said we were going to, so I think it's only right.
Right. Apologies, chat. We did say when Calvin's gone, we would have.
Should we do a 30 seconds because he's not gone permanently? There's no buy option.
Yeah. All right, we'll do a 30-second silence for Calvin Phillips. All right, ready, chat. Put your what should you put in the chat to pay respect? Put whatever you want. 30 seconds starting now. All right, Calvin. Well done, Calvin, mate. Thank you.
Rest in peace, Calvin Phillips. Gone, but kind of forgotten.
Forgotten for now.
Forgotten for 12 months.
gone and forgotten for 12 months. So yeah, Calvin's gone. So that's another one of the. Look, he was never going to play anyway. But look, he's another one of those kind of 6 options that in the squad we had. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do, but you do need to do something. Is where I'm at. You know, I'm looking at both areas of the pitch now, attack and defense, saying it requires more depth. We don't have the depth. Arsenal definitely have better depth than us right now. Would that be a fair statement, Joe?
They've got a lot of depth defensively.
I mean, as far as number 6s, who they could play, they have Rice, Partey, and Jorginho.
Rice, Partey, Jorginho. They've got better midfield depth in terms of deeper midfield positions. I still think going forward, we've got better options. I'd say we've got better depth going up front. You look at the wingers we've got: Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden.
They have Odegaard, Havertz, Trossard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus. That's 6 big names. You know, that's 6 big names. Who have we got? Bernardo, De Bruyne, Foden, Haaland.
Doku,
That's the 4.
Savio.
Grealish,
Doku, Savio. Throw McAtee in there. We've got more options.
With more options, but less tried and tested options. Yeah.
But they don't. Where's their bagsman though? Name me any of them Arsenal attackers that's going to get you more than 20 goals. That's all I'm saying. 20 league goals. Any of them Arsenal attackers going to hit 20 league goals?
I don't think any of the Arsenal attackers hit 20 league goals, but their goals will be spread out very, very well.
That enough to win you a league? I know we did it, but is that enough to win you a league nowadays, to rely on just kind of them being spread about? Do you remember back in the day when we did it, when we were absolutely on our knees going, oh my God, we can't score to save our life, and we had Jesus ended up on the wing because he wasn't good enough up front. Their striker option is Kai Havertz, and then second from that is Eddie Nketiah still.
Has he not gone to Marseille, or did that collapse?
I think that collapsed. And then you've got Jesus, who again, we've tried Jesus up front. His highest scoring league season was 14.
Yeah. They don't have a Haaland though. Yeah, we'd be kind of fucked right now without Haaland. I won't lie, Joe.
They don't have They don't have a player, right? This is what it boils down to for me, right? In terms of attacking options, they don't have a player who can hit 20 league goals. They don't have a player who can hit 20 league assists. We have both.
Odegaard could. I think Odegaard could.
His assist numbers aren't actually that good.
Really?
No, he scores more goals than he gets assists. I'm almost positive.
Right, well, we'll revisit this. Big up LFC, Sai, hit the soundboard, Joe! Joe! Sai! LFC, Sai with a gifted membo! Base Kirby, you got it, my brother. Make sure you say thank you. He says thanks for the membership, man. Of course, LFC, Sai, always looking out for the community. Big gifted. Big, another one. Big up to you, LFC Sai, man. My brother, always great to see you in the chat, man. Always fantastic to see you. Let me know your predictions, LFC Sai. I want to know what you're saying about Liverpool this season, bro. Mixed opinions from the footballing world I see on Liverpool. I want to know what people are saying about Liverpool. Are Liverpool, Joe, in your opinion, a bit of an underdog? Like, are they being overlooked?
You know what I mean? Yeah, because they've gone from one manager to the next. There isn't really any manager that plays like Klopp. Like, that man did wonders, but still ran that squad kind of in the ground. And the established players in that Liverpool team, all pretty old. Like, they're in their 30s. Salah, Van Dijk, in their 30s. Still pretty good, but new manager, how, it's how well it clicks and how fast it clicks. I don't know whether... Like, I'm not going to say that Arne Slot is not going to be a success. I won't say that, but I don't know how fast it's going to click because, again, going from Klopp to, the next man, I don't think there's, like, a huge similarity in the way they play. Like, in terms of, Klopp was basically like nothing I've ever really seen before, like, at least in the Premier League.
Weirdly, I quite like Slot. I quite like him. I never want to say anything like that. It's not my nature to say it. I quite like his approach. And I quite like the way he's nonchalantly just taken the job. The way he's handled the job since he's come in. And for one reason or another, I watched quite a bit of Liverpool in their preseason. And trust me, don't worry, people. I am separating. We'll learn a lot more about Liverpool and Slot over the first 5 game weeks. Of course we will. But so far, I quite like what he's doing with Liverpool. I do. I quite like what he's doing with Liverpool. What would worry me from a Liverpool perspective would be the fact that they've done fuck all business. They needed business. Liverpool definitely needed business. And they haven't done it.
At the same time, you can also make the argument that, again, it was under Klopp, and we know how good Klopp is. We actually no idea how good this Slot guy is, right? But they ran close to a title push for 30 games? 30 games, yeah. They were still up there. So that squad is still good enough to, make a decent challenge for, a decent part of the season. Again, they haven't made any signings, so I doubt they'll be, fighting until the last day. Especially with the manager change and, no signings on top of that. I don't think they'll be fighting for the title. But, they can be in and around until maybe what? You're looking January, February, maybe Champions League knockouts, maybe derail them a little bit when, things start getting messy.
I think a lot of it, anybody outside of Manchester City who has hopes and aspirations of potentially having a stab at the title hinders on Manchester City. If City perform like City have done for years now, again, and we just look inevitable again, it's tough for other teams and clubs to feel like we can go on and win it because you're just dealing with a juggernaut. But if City are like, aren't looking like themselves, looking maybe a bit light in certain areas of the pitch or a few injuries hit, then other clubs, maybe Liverpool, will go, fuck it, we have an opportunity here. City aren't cooking, we could have a go. So I think a lot of it hinders on, or a lot of it depends on how City shape up. How City shape up. Big up the super chat from JTR, the $2.79 Canadian dollars. Big up to you, JTR, my brother. It says, smash the likes, people. Calvin going Ipswich or no? Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. We added a 30-second silence from JTR, man. I hope you observed the 30-second silence because it would be quite disrespectful if you didn't. So, yeah, please confirm in the chat, did you observe the 30-second silence?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, Ipswich stay up, so they might buy him permanently. And then we can have a full minute and then put it to bed.
LFC Sai with another super chat. Joe, hit the soundboard, man. We're getting super chats now. Here comes the money. Big up Sai, man. He says, big up Hugh. Very surprised you lead the Big Six. Best of luck for next adventure. No matter what, we will support Hugh's channel. I think Liverpool will finish third. I appreciate that, Sai, man. I'm very grateful for the Big Six and the fact that the Big Six brought people like you into my channel. I get to hopefully keep chatting to you, Sai, and anybody else who came from Big Six. I get to keep in contact and keep chatting about football with you lot. So yeah, big up to you, Sai. And you think Liverpool will finish third? I think
I'll put
Liverpool. What?
I'd put them there as well. I don't.
I'll put them there.
I don't know, with the way that Arsenal have strengthened. I think third is around about what I'd put. I don't know, because again, even though Liverpool haven't strengthened, I wouldn't back. The closest to them was Aston Villa last season. I don't back Aston Villa with Champions League football to get any higher.
Yeah. Liverpool should have that third place on lock. They should have that third place on lock. But we'll see. He also says, Hugh, can you please do a call-in show? I can express my feelings about Liverpool. We do plan on bringing call-in shows when the season starts. So in the next week or two, maybe we'll get call-in shows. But it also depends on how many members we have, because it will be for members. We want to give the members the call-in. So if you want to be involved in the call-in show when it starts, hopefully in the next week or two, when the football's properly back, become a member, or gift a few members and get it popping off. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Because it all depends on if we have enough members who want to do it. If there's enough members who want to do it, 100% we'll give you guys the voice and the platform. Man like Matthew Hoyle. Big up Matthew Hoyle, man. Sorry, did I miss a fucking member chat from you as well? I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I did, Matthew. I'm so sorry, bro. Remember for 2 months, you said, I'm sorry you had the super chat again. That's my bad, man. He says, Man City will sign Divin Mubamba from West Ham. Man City will sign Divin Mubamba from West Ham. Is this that, Matthew, you're going to have to tell me about this kid now, because I only saw it and I'm assuming you know a bit about him. I saw it this afternoon. He's like a 19-year-old West Ham academy player. He's meant to be rated quite highly. I don't know too much about him. Matthew, don't super chat again. Just tell me in the chat about this Divin Mbamba guy, because you seem to be interested in him, and if he's worth us talking about and he's someone to get excited about, please let me know. So let me know in the chat, Matthew. I'll read it out when I see it. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, man. 104 likes. That's absolutely sick. Appreciate you all, and once again, I appreciate all of you guys being so cool and supportive about me leaving the Big Six. You're a fantastic group of people. Joe, you don't know anything about this Divin Mbamba guy, do you?
Yeah, it beats me. I know he's some 19-year-old kid from West Ham who's unhappy that West Ham haven't given him the opportunity to play, I think is what I read.
What, so you come to Manchester City?
Yes, natural progression is I'm unhappy that West Ham haven't given me the opportunity to play. So I'm going to go to the reigning Premier League champions, who probably won't give me an opportunity to play. Unless he just views it as a career move where maybe a bit of a pay rise, level rise, play with the EDS. Maybe get a cup game if he's lucky. I genuinely don't know. Maybe it's just kind of an opportunity. I see a few people in the chat saying CFG. Maybe it's one of those where, because he wants to go, we're just going to go, yep, we'll snap you up. And then in a few years when you want to leave, bit of profit there. And then that adds to the war chest that we don't spend.
Yeah, people saying CFG. Real Mario says CFG is not first team quality. And then Matthew says he's a fast striker who will stay with the first team according to Fabrizio. Okay. Right, did Fabrizio say he's gonna stay with the first team? That's really interesting.
I doubt it.
That's really fucking interesting if he did. There's no way City signed.
I struggle to see how a 19-year-old striker is the guy that you know the other day on the stream where you said we've been handling dozens of calls, or the board have been having dozens of calls with strikers who are being offered to them left, right, and centre. I struggle to believe how they reject all of those and go, yeah, this 19-year-old kid from West Ham, he is our guy.
Man City to sign one more talent as they close in on Divin Mbamba, Leon and Famalicão are in talks with City, but City hijack move as they see Mbamba as homegrown player who could develop with the right pathway. Mbamba will be in Manchester this season, then potential loan. So is he saying... Matthew, I personally think that's going to be an EDS thing. I think he'll play for our EDS squad. I can't see City giving him a registered first team spot, you know?
No, I doubt it. Did Romano say he was with the first team? Or did he just say he's just going to be with us?
He just said he's going to be in Manchester this season. He doesn't say first team.
I see it. Yeah, it'll be in Manchester this season, then a potential loan. So it'll be with the EDS, and then they'll probably try and ship him off to Girona or somewhere like that.
Girona wouldn't be a bad move for him.
No, I don't think it's. I think it'd be a smart decision if he plays well with the EDS. Send him to Girona, get him some top flight experience. Because even after 2 seasons, he'd still be 20, 21.
Yeah. So maybe he's the next Savio. Who knows? Roger_16, I saw your message. Hugh, Bobb's injury could be a good thing for us. It'll give us the opportunity to experiment Doku and Savio. I like the way you're seeing the silver lining, but I would prefer to have still had Bobb, Roger. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer to have still.
There's also the risk of Doku Savio that it really opens us up. Like, if you ever thought about for as good as it looks on paper and for exciting as it looks, and I do want to see it, you also have to look at the flip side, the other side of the coin, and go, if we play against a low block counter attack with Savio and Doku, and they just go, 1v1, 1v1, and you're going to try and take on the fullback every single time they get the ball and just lose it, imagine the amount of counter attacks we're going to face. Like, there is also a dangerous side of the game. That's a partnership that, the first time that I want to see it, it'd be like, right, if we need a goal, boom, set it off. Set it off, let them go at it. But in terms of seeing them both at the same time, like, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not, like, demanding it at the start of the season.
No, it should be. I think the start of the season is going to be rocky. We're gonna do a proper Chelsea preview. I think we agreed on Saturday, Joe, didn't we?
Yeah, Saturday night, probably, because there's games on during the day.
Yeah, late night chat Saturday. We're gonna do a Chelsea preview. Myself and Joe. Briggsy, I'm trying to figure out the best time to get you on. I know you want to come on. At the very worst, I'll get you on after the Chelsea game. At the very least, but I'll give you a message and let you know what's going on. Only just joined. Do you see City making an Eze? Yeah, I think it'll be Eze Taylor. I think it'll be Eze. I think Manchester City. I have no ITK people. There's nothing. I've nothing. I don't know anything about this side of things right now. But my guess is City will sign Eze. I think we will. I think we will sign Eze because, like I've already said, the release clause, prem proven, versatile. I think it just ticks all the boxes City need. You know. Like, I thought when we lost Alvarez, we needed to replace him in the squad. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean just replace his goals and his assists, because I don't really buy into that kind of thing too much. But definitely replace his place in the squad, you know? Replace his number in the squad, because the squad for me was a bit thin. We don't need well then, I mean, tell me, Real Mario, who do we need? I mean, chat, if you have names, like, I absolutely want to hear them. If you have someone that you think, boom, this is the guy we need, I absolutely want to hear them. But before you throw a name, think about it. Is he attainable? Will City spend the money on him? And does he tick the boxes of what we need? That's what you have to think, because these things are heavily, heavily thought through by the club before the club pull a trigger on anyone. We need a DM, or else I genuinely see us fighting with Liverpool for third. I don't know.
Won't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I think, look, if Rodri gets injured for a large part of the season, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But I don't know about fighting for third. I don't know about fighting for third, Joe.
No, I won't go that far. If we're fighting for third, then something has gone horribly wrong in the season, and we've either got massive injuries or, you know, something's gone down, because we shouldn't be. We shouldn't go from 4 in a row champions to we lose Alvarez, now shit has hit the fan. Because let's be real, that's the only player that we've lost. The only, like, proper senior player that took up a load of minutes that we've lost is Alvarez.
Yeah.
We shouldn't go from losing Alvarez and being, you know, Premier League champions to, you know, you lose him and then you're fighting for third. Like, that shouldn't happen.
It's all questions now, because since the club didn't want to spend any money on Bruno's release, it's hard to say who they're identifying for the right amount of cash. Exactly. It's really, really hard. There's a very large Bruno G size hole in our squad. Chat, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like, your guess is really as good as mine. Like I said, my guess is Eze will come. After that, I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. You know, after the Chelsea game, we may have a better idea of where we're really and truly at. You know, like, if Savio's probably going to start now. Is he? Maybe not. Bernardo Doku?
Bernardo Grealish, but if Grealish hasn't played because he's injured, then Bernardo Doku, probably.
Yeah. But we said Foden won't start, did we? Or Rodri.
Yeah, I don't think the players that have only just come back after the Community Shield won't start against Chelsea. So Stones, Walker, Foden, Rodri probably won't start. Rodri definitely. I don't think Rodri will, regardless. I think he's the one player that he's done.
We're looking at a midfield of Kovacic, De Bruyne, probably Bernardo. So Savio could play.
Unless he goes with Núñez, which is highly unlikely. So Savio could get a game.
Savio is more likely for me than Núñez to get minutes on Sunday. Evening, Andrew W. I rate Eze, but I also don't think we need him. I'd rather go with what we have. But when people say I'd rather go with what we have, would you not rather have the extra of what we have? Do you know what I'm saying? Have what we have and more. Be greedy. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, at the moment, we've got 3 midfield slots: Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo, Kovacic, Núñez, McAtee, Nico O'Reilly. McAtee, Nico O'Reilly, Núñez barely get a look in. So you got 5 main ones, pretty much, because the other 3 don't really get a look in. If we get 1 or 2 injuries, let's say Bernardo has to step out onto the wing, Haaland goes down, someone has to go false 9, De Bruyne goes down, you've got Rodri, you've got Foden, Bernardo, Kovacic. to fit into false 9, midfield 3. Then you're looking at, right, who are your options then? McAtee, Nico O'Reilly, Mateus Nunes. Those are your options from the bench to rotate. Kind of a little bit short. Because it might not happen. You might not lose De Bruyne and Haaland at the same time. You might not have all these injuries. But you got to plan like you have it. Because what happens if it does happen? We all remember last season. Do you remember Aston Villa away? We had a midfield 3 of Alvarez, Rico Lewis, and John Stones. We had a midfield 3 without a single midfielder in it. Because we didn't have any.
Thing ever.
Because we didn't have any. Because everyone was injured.
Yeah, I know. So
you got to plan like it's going to happen, because it might.
That's what I was saying, Andrew W. I was saying De Bruyne, Stones, and Haaland at some stage of the season, hopefully not all at the same time, will pick up injuries. So we're going to need reinforcements. And now Rodri's dealing with a dodgy hamstring, which, as I told you before, it reoccurs. It's very likely it reoccurs. You know, we're gonna be, you know, on the edge of our seats all the time, hoping that he doesn't get injured. So business needs to be done, boys. Business needs to be done. Pep trusted Bravo. Look how that went.
He was gone within a season. I've just wiped my desk. Pep trusted Zach Steffen. He's back in America now. Like this, Pep has trusted players before, and shit has hit the fan, and it's like, right, you know, you go again. He trusted Calvin Phillips, and Calvin Phillips let him down. Like, he trusts these players. Like, I don't really know. He trusted Rico Lewis. He lived up to the expectation. He repaid the trust. But, you know, that doesn't happen all the time. Again, it's unfair to go, right, look at Rico Lewis, how well he did. Nico O'Reilly, you do the same thing. James McAtee, you do the same thing. It's just totally Savio. It's unfair to pile on expectations on young players. So even though Pep might trust them, he'd probably trust more, you know, tried and tested senior pros with experience more than them. Like, he'd still want them. He'd still take them.
Yeah, of course. Blake says, do you think you'll be able to get to the Etihad for many games this season, Hugh? Mate? Yeah, I've renewed my season ticket, so I hope to get over as much as possible. I like the away games too, so hopefully I'll get to plenty of games. I usually go to a good amount of games. The most games I ever went to in a season was like 40, 45, and that was the treble season. So it's the best season to do my record number. But yeah, hopefully, man. I don't see why not. Smash a like, people. 130, the new number. Yeah, man. Hit the like button. Let's get it up if you haven't hit it already. Trusting experience will be the end of our era. We're basically giving our rivals and other teams our talent and not making signings to replace them. The chat's very mixed, Joe, isn't it? The chat's very mixed.
It's you're getting the vibe of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Some people are going, no, don't sign Eze. He's not good enough right now. And other people are like, don't sign experienced players because, you know, in a few years we'll have to replace them again. Sign some younger players. So it's kind of like, what do? You can't. We're approaching territory that you can't please everybody now, which you're not going to be able to do anyway. But it's interesting to see the split of some people being like, sign Eze, he's good, he's young, you know, he fits the system, and other people going, he's not good enough, not experienced, sign someone else, and they name like a more senior pro or like a more experienced player, maybe not more senior, because people throw around Rodrigo from Real Madrid. He's not more senior, but he's more experienced, Champions League level football. Like, it's interesting to see, but again, we've been through this. We are days away from the start of the season, from the start of our season. Real Madrid played the Super Cup the other night. Didn't even know that was on, but they played it. So their season is pretty much underway. You ain't getting a big boy away from one of the big teams right now because the season's about to start. And just forget it.
Unlikely. Do you fly over or ferry? You're not exactly around the corner of the commitment. I fly, Blake. It's only a 25 minute flight from Dublin to Manchester, so it's actually really handy and it's cheap too. So hopefully that stays that way. But you know the way Michael O'Leary operates, the fucking dick. Well, geez, Eze is a midfielder. He spends the majority of his time in midfield, but he's versatile. So he would offer us both. You know what I'm saying? He would offer us both. Real Madrid looks scary, bro. Watching Bellingham link up with Mbappe and Vinny, fuck me, Rodrigo's just there, you know. Valverde too. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, they had a front four of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Bellingham, with Valverde and Zubimendi behind them. Yeah, it's a super team. It's a super team. So if you want to compete, then you got to pad out the squad. So again, we know our starting 11 is good, very good. But if you want that starting 11 to play all these big Champions League games, you know, then sign a couple of players so we can rest a couple of these players in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, I agree. I had a chat. We only have 20 players in our entire team. I don't know if we absolutely need more players. Not a chance. We can compete for everything in 75 games. That's how I feel. That's how I feel, Matt Hatter. Oi, O'Leary sponsor, HMTV, man, free Ryanair flights for life. Imagine. Savio's going to get a lot more minutes now. Bobb is injured. He should. I think. Do you know what it is? MCFC 4, Pete. It's like, do you know the way when we bought Doku last summer? I didn't think when Doku arrived he was going to play a huge amount of minutes, but because of injuries to Grealish, loss of form for Grealish, and one reason or another, Doku ended up playing a lot more minutes than anticipated last season. I think Savio's going to be the same, and I just hope he's ready. And what I really hope with is that, look, if Savio doesn't bang or he has a bad game here or there, people don't get on his case and be like, oh, he's blah, 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 he's not that good. You have to remember, the kid's 20, he's in a new league, new club, new language, new everything. So, yeah, man, I think Savio's going to, Joe, I think it's fair to say, I think he's going to play a lot more than we expected.
Which you can flip good and bad. Good because you want to see him, but potential bad because the expectations could rise. And then you have another Doku situation where everybody's going, well, he's not actually as good as we thought he was. It's like, but yeah, because he's like 20 odd years old, like 21 or something, or 20. Like, come on, don't expect the world, but he is going to have a huge amount of pressure put on his shoulders now that he's probably, I wouldn't say nailed on, but he's more than likely going to start against Chelsea now with the injuries and the players that we have available and the varying levels of fitness. So yeah, Savio's probably going to play against Chelsea. He's probably going to start. So like, a lot of pressure. The plan was probably not to have him start because again, Oscar Bobb probably starts that game if he's fit. But like, yeah, get the shirt. Go on, show the people. Yeah,
we're investing, people. We're investing.
Like, the plan was definitely not for him to start against Chelsea at least. Anyway, regardless of what shape the squad was in, because I mean, at the end of the day, he's only just got here. He didn't play pre-season, so throwing him in was not the plan. But we're here now. We have to do it. We got to do something.
Yep. I agree. The Chelsea game is going to be so interesting, man. It's going to be so interesting to see what team turns out. Get the away one. I have the away one. I have all three of this season's kits already. Joe knows me well. I buy every single goddamn kit. And I always buy them off the club as well. So it costs me I need to start buying off DHgate or something, man, because the amount of money I give to that football club on shirts is ridiculous. No, Andrew, we don't know if Jack Grealish is back yet. We actually don't know. Pep's press conference will be tomorrow, so he'll more than likely provide an update there. I have a really bad feeling that Foden is going to play right wing. I don't know why.
Because it's Pep.
He
know exactly why.
He won't start against Chelsea, Roger. He won't start. Start. He's only back training the other day.
Saying that you don't know why you have that feeling is false. We all know why you have that feeling. Because I have that same feeling. It's Pep. Pep's a fucking psycho, mate. He'll throw anyone anywhere.
Yeah. It's true, man. It's true. Pep roulette back in the full flow. Thing is, the Pep roulette, like, you know, on a roulette table, the way it's like red, black, and it has, I don't know how many numbers on it now.
It's just every position on the pitch.
Yeah, but it's the roulette's getting smaller and smaller and smaller because we have less and less players to roulette with. So, look, we'll see. The Chelsea game is going to be hella interesting. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm able to do a watch along on Sunday because I do have a few personal things to sort out this weekend. At the very least, we will have a late night chat after the Chelsea game, and I'll get a review video up straight at full time as well. That's if there's no watch along. But I promise you, at the very least, we will have a watch along for Ipswich. And from then on, every game that I'm not at, we will have a watch along for. Yeah, but the Chelsea game this weekend, I have to do a few things with my family and that, or just sort of a few things that I will see the game, but I just don't know if I can stream during it. So, look, we will have content after the game, but promise you, Ipswich game watch along, and after that, every game that I'm not at, there'll be a watch along. Every game I am at, match day vlog season, baby, match day vlog. Listen, we'll be live for over an hour now. Listen, Joe, could you do me a favor and stick is he still live? Stick a redirect onto. He's not live anymore. I thought LB was live. Is he? No, he must have wrapped it up. Yeah, I was gonna send a redirect. Is there anybody else that's live we can redirect to? Saeed's usually live.
If it lets me, of course.
No, he's not. There's no one.
No, I got Lee Gunner, and that's the only one it's showing me at least anyway. That pops up immediately in my face.
Yeah, redirect to Lee Gunner. Fuck it. Go on, redirect to Lee, man. He's a good guy. I like Lee. Right, people, listen. Fantastic late night chat. Absolutely appreciate all of you coming in. And once again, I want to thank you all so much for your support for me leaving the Big Six, and just showing love, man. Just showing love. So listen, we'll be back. Briggsy, I'm gonna give you a text now in a while about our plan with you. Panel show back next week too. 100% people. Next week we're back in full business. Full business. Get locked in. Be subscribed. Hit the like button. Become a member. Notification bell on. All of that is your homework, people. Make sure when you come to the next class, you have all your homework complete, or Joe's gonna spank your ass. Right, you're going to League Gunner. Wrap her up, Joe. Wrap her up.
Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand.